Okay, so it's finally the day. I'm pulling the starter. This thing wouldn't work for the last 3 days because of all the rain and all the moisture. Today it fired right up, but still sounds bad. The solenoid is not pushing the gear out and holding it out long enough to start the engine. So here it goes, coming out. So I removed the solenoid and it's doing its thing. The springs are inside are functional. I'm going to run a continuity test, but before I took it down, it was actually working. I guess it dried out and it's working. So I'm going to take the starter apart, check the brushes, check everything. I'll show you when it's exploded, and then I'm going to put it back together, and hopefully she'll give me at least a little bit more life. And so here's the meat and potatoes of the whole thing. You got your back cover, where that covers up the brushes. You've got your front, your pinion, like actuator gear, and you got your three-way pinion gear that gets turned by the electric motor portion. I've tested all the springs are working right. Everything is moving correctly. I'm going to clean this thing up real good. I'm going to sand these contacts down. I'm going to give a light brush on these, but these actually look really good if you see them in the light. They all got great contact to them. They just need to be cleaned up. So I'm just going to buff everything up, clean everything up, lubricate everything again, and then put her back together, and hopefully she gives me a lot more time. I could already tell that the solenoid is rebuilt once because there was purple paint on them, so that's why this is moving so nicely. I actually thought this was going to be a problem and be stuck, and that's why it wasn't staying, out, but it's obviously working really, really good. So I'm going to clean it, lube it, and hopefully it'll give me some good service. So I just cleaned the arm, whatever this armature is that pushes off the solenoid and pushes the pinion gear out, and lubricated everything with dielectric grease, the very thick stuff, and it's working, moving much better than it did before. And now we move on to the other components. I still have to do the cleaning of the copper there, so I make good contact. So I'll be back. Next step coming up. So I polished up all the copper contacts and cleaned and lubricated the gear that turns the planetary gears. And now I'm going to insert this, but I need two hands. So I got this far back together, and I'm sealing everything with dielectric grease because the moisture that I found inside here is almost positively the reason it wasn't kicking in right. We're going to find out now. I'm about to clean all my my contacts, all my brushes, and then lubricate it, lubricate the spindle again, clean all this crap out of here. I don't think this is supposed to look like this in here, and put it back together, and put the rebuilt solenoid back on there, and put it back in the truck and see what happens. I'll be back. So I don't know why this video is going upside down. Stop. There you go. So to alleviate the nightmare of trying to stretch all these out, you push each one in and just hold the spring back with a skinny, anything skinny actually, any wire, or I'm using Allen wrenches here, and then you just, well, that wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. Just goes to show I'm not using my tripod again, but all you do now is now you can actually manipulate them one at a time and get this thing on here easily. So I've got the starter portion all back together. Now be careful because there's notches in here for where that hose goes through. And if you don't put it together correctly and you put this in 180, that will be on the wrong side. So now we're just ready to put the solenoid on and hook her up and see if she flies.